What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my Aloha live stream, 808 live stream. Let's check real quick if my audio is working. Yes, it is. I can hear myself. So welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about IMU calibration. What is the right way? How can you screw it up? And the criticism that I received for actually doing it in my hand. And I'm going to be flying this bad boy in this small, tiny little crap studio. As most of you guys know how big this bird actually is. I will fly it in here just to show you guys what it means if you do an IMU calibration either way. Let's check first who's here. I've seen already that there were a few participants in here, including Ricky Britton, my man, Robert Hernandez, JR. I've seen Arizona Drone Dude, and earlier I've seen Pocho on the Loose. I appreciate all you guys coming by. And yeah, like I said, IMU calibration. What actually is IMU calibration? So after I actually had the update, just like everybody else, and I was going through it, and I was like, okay, what is the IMU calibration? So it's actually inertia measurement unit. It's a really weird thing, but it actually has to do with a 3-axis or 6-axis calibration with a unit inside here, a gyroscope that is going to keep your drone level. And if it's done the wrong way, it starts doing that whole toilet bowl movement. It can drift off to the side or hover in the wrong way. The reason why I believe that 2.50 might have been an issue for most of us at that time was because the IMU calibration might have been off, and that might have been the reason why in 2.511 they actually added that on to pretty much put it in your own hands. You know what I mean? Like, you can do this. I read a lot of stuff about the IMU calibration on the forums, on people arguing on Facebook in groups and saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you should be doing this, and you should be doing that. Today, we'll be going through a live IMU calibration, and right after that, I'm going to start this bird right off this table. So it's live stream. So if this goes sideways, it goes sideways, and you guys are going to be witness to it. So if anything, let's see what we have here. We have Aloha, you're the man. No, I'm not. I'm just like you guys. Come on. I did mine in my hand. See, you did yours in the hand. I did mine in my hand about 10 times this past week, and it worked out great. And I flew the drone probably about 30 times, and I had no issues with drifting, with toilet bowl movements, whatever. You can do it in your hands, but I also figured out a way that you can make it where it's totally still. I made sure that my desk today is completely level. Like literally, it took me like an hour to figure out that I have to put a small shim underneath the wheels, because this table actually can move. It has wheels underneath. So, and this area that I'm sitting here, this is my studio right here. My camera is probably about only like 3 feet away from me. And behind me, I have maybe 5 more feet. So in between this whole thing, we have maybe like a 6 by 8 maybe space. And then I have only like 3 to 4 feet space over here, because it's like literally from here. I'll fly this bad boy and I'll show you guys. I tried it earlier and I was kind of worried about my key light, so I had to move that a little bit back, but I will be doing it. And Hot Rod Daytona, my man. And then we have Bomber's Autel drone. Yes. What we have here, I didn't mind in my hand. The orange bird rocks. Hey, it's not only that this orange bird rocks. I'm telling you, I have barely touched this Mavic Mini right here. I did it for the review, and I try to go through certain places. The problem is I cannot fly it in certain areas where I want to fly it. This DJI bird is giving me a hard time, and I can't take off, or when I do, and I mean, there's no sensors and stuff. She reminds me a little bit of my Parrot Anafi, but since I've been doing so much work with this bird and I've been flying it so many times, I mean, I almost clocked 1,000 flights with the bad boy, and it's like everything else seems to be like a toy. It's like a bus in the air. It's like a tank, and it's really doing great things. And I can't get over the quality, and I don't know. I'm not a fanboy of Autel. I just love what they produced here. You know what I mean? I'm always open for if somebody else with a different name coming out with a great drone. I'm cool for it. I'll check it out. You know what I mean? It's like a box with a little ball. It rolls to one side or the other side. Yeah. So there's like a 3-axis gyroscope, and then there's considered be a 6-axis, but it's not, because a gyroscope only can take 3 axis. But then there's like something else inside there which makes it a 6-axis. And as far as I've read it, there's only the DJI Inspire 2 that has a 6-axis configuration. On this drone, we have 6 steps that we will be doing in just a minute, where I'm going to be doing a live calibration in my hand, and I'm going to be taking off. And then right after that, I'm going to show you guys how to do the calibration with the arms folded in as the pictures say inside here, as they want us to do it, and then how you can do it on a level surface. And you still have to use your hands at some point, so you will never really get over that part. So just to let you guys know, you will never get really over it that you have to touch it. I don't have a gimbal cover anymore. I had to order a new one because I broke my old one. It just was like I squeezed it together and the bottom pin just broke off. So yeah, I mean, it was like $5 something. And Autel, I don't know. They got to work on a different product. I mean, the gimbal cover is kind of, the plastic that they use is like really hard. So make it a little bit softer. You know what I mean? I don't know. What else we have here? We have, I wouldn't say successful if it didn't work right. Yeah, it's just like that. Happy Halloween, everyone. My wife is watching too. Aloha, baby. She's probably just like 30 feet away, somewhere in one AC unit room. It's really hot in this room. But let's get started on this whole IMU calibration thing. And if you guys watch this afterwards, after the live stream is done, then please hey, leave a comment, whatever. I just figured, because people was criticizing me for doing it in my hand, and everybody's coming, oh, on my Mavic I have to do this and I have to do that. Well, it's not a Mavic, bro. So let's check this out. There was also things said at some point where it said, do not do it in between buildings. Do not do it close to any magnet things and all that stuff. And I actually wanted to do a video where I wanted to show you guys how far I actually went to. Oh, I should turn this off. I got to take the propellers off first. Hang on. So how far I actually went to see if I could screw up this IMU calibration. And it was really weird. So anyways, but so IMU calibration, I started up my controller. I started up the app. The app stays talking to me already, this lady. And so when you do IMU calibration, make sure that your surface is level, that there's no metal pieces, no speakers, no magnets, no nothing around. Some people even said that as simple as a wristwatch that actually can screw it up. But so because I did it in my video in my hands, I will do it now in my hands again. And we will be going into the IMU calibration setting. And then I will be removing the blades. And as I showed you guys prior, just take the blades off as such. Leave it in the position as you start off with your drone, because that will be the last position that you're going to start with. And I left my stuff open. Like literally, I left it open. I left the legs open. I did it in my hand because I used the table to brace my hands. So I'm going to be doing this part right now, making sure that I'm connecting to, there we go. We're connected to our stuff. And then afterwards, I will talk to you guys, after this IMU calibration, I will talk to you guys about certain issues that came up with me that I've seen that I really wish that with a new update, firmware update, that Autel is hopefully going to work on it. And we'll see. So it's asking me right now, starting calibration. So it says, please remove the propellers, fold the arms, and place the aircraft on a horizontal surface. It is a horizontal surface. I'm not going to fold up the arms just yet because I will be adjusting it in my hands. Follow the instructions to place the aircraft and keep it still. So now that was the issue at first when I first did this thing, and when I was like thinking to myself, okay, I turned it upside down, and after coming back from the turning upside down part, it shows the drone to be like this on the picture. Didn't work because I sat there and I waited, and I was like, that was step number 3. And I was like, she's not doing anything. So technically seen, as long as you're not in the right position, she will not give you the calibrating kind of loading sign, right? So during calibration, the gimbal will not work. Yes, it won't, but it will give you the thing where it says, oh, abnormality in your gimbal because you're turning it all over. Okay. So I'm going to be starting calibration right now. Calibrating. It gives me already step number 1, calibrating. Follow the instruction to place the aircraft and keep it still. Okay. So it's calibrating right now. That's the first step. You have it like this. Now it's asking me to put it upside down. So I'm putting it upside down. So gimbal attitude is abnormal. So calibrating it. and it's done calibrating. Now I'm gonna check the sideways position, which is not this way, it is the other way. So I'm holding it like this, and I'm still holding it in my hand. I'm not touching the table, no nothing. I'm just holding it, making it by eye level, kind of. Step number 4. And she is calibrating. And I'm still holding her just with my 2 hands, making sure I don't shake all over the place. Last but not least, I mean, no, almost the last step before, upside down, this way. And last one, right here, calibrating upwards. Calibration success. It says calibration success. So therefore, we're done with that. I'm going to turn the bird off because I don't want the blades to go off on me. And then I'm going to put the blades back on.
Video link signal is weak.
Yeah, video link signal is weak.
Antenna angle on the remote control.
Shut your mouth.
Remote control and the aircraft disconnected.
So, putting this stuff back on. What we got here? Pochonu's Hawaii hands. Show controller screen. Yeah, honey, I would love to show the controller screen, but there's like, oh yeah, you do can see it. Oh, I'll leave it like this then the next time. Okay. Anyways, so I got the propellers back on. Now, Mono Truth, does the IMU work if you hold it in your bare hands? So we're gonna start this bad boy up. Self-checking.
Initialization.
So we're gonna turn off the obstacle avoidance. And I usually turn off the radar off too because I don't want that beeping sound. And then we'll just wait a little bit. And then it keeps giving me that warning gimbal is not ready sign, but cares about that. Moment of truth, guys. Live stream. Will she crash? Yeah, no? Here we go. So there's no hovering. I don't know if you guys can hear me with this noise. But yeah. So there's no drifting. There's nothing. It's in this tiny little studio. I'll take off and I'll do my stuff. And as long as she's not doing a toilet bowl thing and take off into my key light, I guess we're fine. We can try it again. One more time. One more time. Here we go. I don't see no problems. And I landed it on the glass surface. Okay. There we go. So that was IMU calibration in hand style IMU calibration. I don't know how much more real you can be with this thing, but I'm always scared if I stay around it so close. So I'll be turning it off for now. And then you guys seen it, right? You guys seen it. JR, what are you doing? Best drone of 2020 and possible 21. Hang on, let me turn this. There we go. So best drone, bruh. Can you like shut up? So best drone of 2020 and possible 21, unless DJI comes out with the Mavic Pro 3 and have to be really amazing to take down, right? This orange bad boy. Yeah, I would say so. Mavic 3 Pro. I mean, it's gonna be probably the Mavic 3. The thing is, I think they are waiting. Well, first of all, JR, thank you very much for your $5 donation. I really, really, really appreciate it. It really helps me out. It's working really great. And I'm going to tell you guys later on a little bit more about the whole monetization thing and how it's going to influence this channel. So anyways, but yeah, Mavic 3, I don't know. I mean, it's still DJI and it still has this whole geofencing thing going on. And right now with this bad boy right here with a 1-inch sensor and all that stuff, all they can do is try to be more having like an affordable DJI Inspire for the prosumer. Is that how you say it? Prosumer. For have like that 6K thing going on where, I mean, there's not much. I mean, what can you do better on these quadcopters these days? You know what I mean? So let's see. Hot Rod is always a good intel. He always comes up with cool stuff. Autel can match them on camera since it's replaceable. Yeah, that's one of the things. The one thing that in my eyes that Autel can blow these guys out of the water are two things. For me, at least two things. Is first of all, come out with a gimbal, even if the gimbal costs like $1,200, that has optical zoom. It's almost like having a DJI Inspire thing that you put over here with a better sensor, whatever, and optical zoom where you can zoom in further, stay away further, and zoom in further. I mean, it's that would be great, like an optical zoom kind of thing, not that digital stuff that we have, so you don't have no loss of resolution. You can punch in, and plus you can keep your drone at a more safer distance by doing optical zoom, but flying in closer. It actually looks like you're flying right through it, even though you're flying probably 5 feet over it. The second part would be if it's an easier live function. So if I want to stream this bad boy without a third-party version now, you guys got to understand that I want to use this live function, and I'm still trying to figure it out, that I click the live button and you will see what my drone sees at a live function, and you can hear me through my phone talking story with you guys, because I just want to fly around sometimes and just tell you, bro, check this out, you know what I mean, without having to edit a video and make it all together, put it all together, doing all these things. But now I will show you guys the second way of doing an IMU calibration, where we go by the textbook as they wanted this to be. In order to do so, where did I put it? I had a rag. I don't want to lay it on my sensor this way. I'll just use my ripped up shirt that I usually use for other things like wiping the table and stuff. But we do the same thing. We're taking off the propellers. We're putting them on the side of each motor so that we don't forget where it's at. Right here. And then now we are folding in the arms, just as they're asking us to fold in the arms, right? And it's still a level surface because I'm making sure that, yeah, there you go. So it's a level surface, but the reason why I put this underneath is at some point you will have to put it upside down like this, and I don't want to lay it onto my sensor on the top because I don't want to scratch them, no nothing. Like, you guys get the picture. So let's start up the bird real quick. See how that thing goes. Let's hope the gimbal does not hit my arms.
Attitude initialization.
Okay, so it's starting. During that time, let's see. Andy, I saw on forums someone showed in manual to be wearing gloves when touching propellers. What's that all about? I'm not sure. I have no idea. Unless it's because these top pieces are metal and they just don't want you to have like static stuff going on or whatever, but I'm not touching the ground. So optical zoom solves the issue most people fly out of line of sight for. If you can zoom in from far away, you'll be less likely to fly long distance. Let that sink in, guys. Anyways, so this thing is up right now. I'm going to switch over to our IMU calibration. I'm going to turn the screen so you guys can sort of see it, kind of, I guess, I hope. Is that what you guys see? So, and we are here for the calibration. So I'm going to press the button for the calibration. I'll wait a little bit. It says calibrating right over here. You guys can see the bottom, this line right there, sort of like it shows calibrating. And then if it's done calibrating, it's going to come longer. See? Boom. Now it's asking me to put it upside down. So you put it upside down. And you got to hold it because she's going to roll off. So we got her upside down. We're just making sure we're not shaking. So now she's asking us to put her on her side. And right there, I'm not touching it, just leaving it just as that, making sure, yeah, she's kind of level. So this would be the way that you do it if you lay it onto a flat surface, I believe. So now we're turning it over to the other side. And to be honest, I actually like it way more better this way because now I have to hold the leg a little bit because otherwise she's going to fall over to that side. Because as in another live stream prior to that, so now it's asking us to unfold these arms forward. and to put her upside down like this.
Simple attitude is abnormal.
So she's, and you gotta hold her like this, because if I let her go right now, she's gonna fall towards me. And then the arms stay like this. So we're gonna put her on the ground, so she stay on the table. Still gotta hold her, otherwise she's gonna fall over to me. And it says calibration successful. So now calibration is successful. I'm gonna unfold the arms, put her back into the position that I had her. Turn her off, of course. And then I'm gonna put my propellers back on. Please, guys, don't try this during when the drone is on to put these propellers back on, because I've seen somebody, he got cut up pretty bad on a forum. He posted the pictures, and he literally was doing I don't know what he was doing. He was doing some sort of calibration, and he literally screwed that up by getting hammered by the propellers, and his hands was pretty cut. I mean, I don't know, it was kind of soft skin too. So now we turn it on. Wait until she does her self-checking. You guys seen it? It's live. There's no cutting. There's no playing around with stuff. And I'm gonna try this. And like I said, live stream. Hey, she crashed. You guys gonna be right here for it. I probably gotta open up a GoFundMe account afterwards if she does, because my wife is gonna chop my off if I mess this up. So we go visual navigation. I turn off all my obstacle avoidance because we are in the studio. And then let's see what she does. Moment of truth, guys. Moment of truth. Warning, gimbal is not ready. So this is another thing that just came up. Like, if the gimbal wouldn't be ready, you see this? She's actually looking up and down right now. I'm moving her. So she does this thing. So this is one of the issues that I have since 2.511. It takes an awful amount of time until I finally can start this. I'm in an arm mode right now. We did the IMU with the arms folded in and trying to hold her on a surface that is level. Let's see what she does. If I have to catch her. Ready? And... there you go, guys. There you go. So we have IMU calibration that we did with the arms folded in. We have IMU calibration with the arms, with me doing it in my hand. And should I do it? Okay. I did an IMU calibration where I literally tried to screw it up, like on purpose. Like I moved it around. I did my thing. I moved it around. It gives you a lot of leeway during those times, but she still flew totally normal. So that's the funny part. Like she literally still flew totally normal afterwards. So I don't know. I have no idea what else to tell you. But you guys seen it live and flying it in here, and you guys know how big this bird is, and this space is actually pretty small. So, but you guys have seen it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the IMU calibration. As I said, you do not have much to do wrong on this part, but this is how you do the correct IMU calibration. And it doesn't matter if it was in your hand, because as you guys can see, I have a massive, I'm a pretty big dude. So this is a pretty big watch, okay? And I have the watch, and I held it with the hand with my watch. I have rings on my hands. What else? We have a thick metal flask right here with my drink inside. We have the controller next to it. I have a battery pack right over here. I don't know. I got lights underneath here. So there's not much more that you can do. Like I'm in the building doing an IMU calibration on a wooden table with a glass plate underneath. I have a keyboard right there. So whatever else is there, and I have a monitor right here. I mean, it cannot get any more magnetism than that. And I have a big speaker right over there with like two speakers in there. I have huge speakers sitting right over there for parties and stuff. They have huge magnets in there. And yeah, IMU works. I mean, if I can fly it in here and it stays level like this. The only thing that I had to play around with was the altitude, because she wants to go out of the counter side. So I keep her here, and I just keep flicking the thing so she doesn't go into landing mode. Okay, but this is pretty much IMU calibration. You know what I mean? So this is the IMU calibration. Now, issues that came up since 2.511. There are a few issues. They are minor issues, but there are issues that can be really, really irritating and not really a deal breaker. I still love this bird. This bird is awesome. So it's really, really great. But one of the issues that I have is with this hyperlapse or time lapse, or you're taking pictures every few seconds. So that means it makes it a time lapse for me. Hyperlapse, if you move forward or you're moving, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, the chat, Hot Rod is blowing up a chat over here together with Ricky. Some forum, optical zoom. Okay. One suggestion. What we have here? One suggestion. Nope, wrong one. My bad. Right here. Next one. One suggestion: always have the top of the drone facing you, so that it looks like the picture on the screen. Yeah, but I mean, as long as it's up, down, whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's weird. Like I did it this way, and I mean, you've seen it. It works. So what else we have here? Thank you, brother. You're awesome. Your wife is awesome. Thank you both. Autel should thank you also. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to Autel for a while. I tried to call them, and I tried to do the stuff with the light function for the stuff, but it hasn't worked. Would take big magnets to mess up a gyro. Yeah, but you know how some people, they actually said that they had issues as much as small as a wristwatch that might be in the way. And I have done these IMU calibrations constantly, all over, every time. And I even tried it when I switched location. And then at some point I didn't switch location, and I actually went to the other side of the island, and I totally forgot to do the calibration, and I flew it, and it was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? So what we have here, when I done mine, I made sure my table was level and up against the wall. When doing the calibration, when it was on the side, I would make sure the feet was up against the wall to make sure it was level. Yeah, you can do that too. And I mean, as long as it works out for you guys and it's successful and perfect, I just wanted to show, because there's a lot of people, including me, that were like, it's not working. I'm stuck at step 3. What am I going to do? So, and that's pretty much it. So this is the IMU calibration as you can do it. Now, problems that came up are that, for an example, I like to fly in manual mode. In manual mode, meaning for my exposure levels and all that stuff, I don't like the auto stuff. There's a lot of flickering and stuff that I have with shadows that come up. And at first, I actually thought that those flickers come at the same time as I do manual. What I didn't realize was that I actually was into one of the intelligent flight modes. I went into the intelligent flight mode, such as smart orbit and hyperlapse and all that stuff. And I went in there, and it automatically sets all the settings to automatic, including when you go back into manual flight. So once you switch back into manual flight, my options return to auto adjustments. So I have to manually just switch it back over to manual. The settings for my prior, oh, my light just went out. My settings for my prior manual settings were still saved, but it was in auto instead of manual. So that was kind of screwed up. So that is one of the issues that I have. The other issue that I've seen and actually experienced with Hot Rod as well, who sent me a video link of it. And Hot Rod, if you want to, you can share that video here if you want to. It was during filming with sunsets and stuff. He had, in the yellow and orange stuff, he had flickers in there where it just literally just flickered. And I believe he runs the 6K as well. And I've seen it in mine's one where shadow is like, if you turn away from the sun or the light source, she wants to flicker, especially on super bright days. The thing that I think they kind of fixed during 2.511 is the sensitivity of these sensors are not as sensitive as they used to be prior, because now when I flew on bright days, like super bright sunny days, especially when it's like 12 noon and the sun is beaming down straight down, the top sensor was not affected anymore. I didn't get the message that there was an obstacle above me, even though I had like nothing above me. There was like blue sky. But the sun apparently had issues with the sensors, and it literally was holding back the drone. And the same thing is now, ever since this green button that they put on the top right corner that you can turn off the obstacle avoidance, she does not, when I flew underneath bridges before, she detected that there were pillars and stuff in like 3 to 4, 5 feet distance, and she slowed down my whole drone, and then she would go gradually until she finally passed the object. Once she passed them, she kept speeding up, and it was kind of like a pain in the butt because I didn't want that, you know. In Hyperlapse and all these auto modes, I wish they would implement that you keep manual settings for your exposures. I'm not a big fan of that whole auto stuff, but I think in a Hyperlapse it has to be, because I don't know. I don't understand why, because I can set my stuff on my camera, my Sony camera, for my time lapses and stuff, and I can set it in there manually that I don't want no auto exposure and all that stuff. So why not in this? Why do I have to go to auto every single time? And why, once I switch back to manual, why does it not keep me in manual as I was prior? Another bad part that I hate about this whole thing is when I film and I go into smart orbit or any of the intelligent flight modes, including tracking and all that stuff, she goes automatically and she turns off my recording. So, and sometimes she does not tell me because she too busy telling me that there's an obstacle in the way, or she's too busy telling me that the gimbal is not ready, or something is always talking. This lady is always talking to me, and then sometimes she forgets to tell me that stop recording. She doesn't tell me that, and I'm not paying attention to that red button on the side that it's a circle and not square, and I'm like, I just missed a great shot because of that, because I went into that stuff. And Adam J, aloha, my man, what up? Thank you. I believe it was you the last time on a live stream. I couldn't give you a shout out for your donation. You gave me a $5 donation, but I was already logging off, and then the donation came in after. I appreciate that. I believe it was you, if I'm not wrong. I think it was you, and I appreciate it. So, but yeah, so this whole manual thing, that's one of the issues that I have with it, that it does not go into auto. I mean, that it automatically goes into auto, and that it cuts off my recording every single time. So I keep, I don't know, I just keep ending up switching in between auto and manual and all that stuff. Another thing that people were complaining about is that when you set these buttons up, the murder buttons, the buttons of hell, once you have this Skyfire area mount over here, those buttons are not an issue at all. You actually have to find these buttons a little bit to press the button. But I have one set for me for find the GPS map, to switch in between map and camera. And I have another one where I either look straight up or look straight down. So since my shots are usually planned out very well, I have no problems of switching. Some other people said that it's too slow. I think it is just right, because you have to sort of a little bit hold it, and then she adjusts first up, and then you hold it a little bit longer, and she looks straight back down. If you don't, and that's usually while she's on the move. For that, I think it's a perfect timing, because sometimes if you don't have these button bumpers, or you don't have this enhancement kit or a lift door or anything that blocks you of pressing these buttons, I think if you press the button on accident, boom, you're going to be looking straight down, and then you're going to be looking straight up. And you don't want that, because we all know, before the button bumper era, that we touch these buttons constantly, like all the time, like literally all the time. So you don't really want that if you have assignable buttons. It's good that they actually have a pausing part in there. I really like that. Another issue that came up with this ever since the 2.511 is that my live stream still does not work. So I go into the Autel app, and I'm clicking on the live button, I'm clicking on the function, and apparently I tried to explain it to Autel as well when I called them, and they kept telling me, and somebody else told me also on one of my videos, that I have to take off the age restrictions and stuff. And I was like, the age restrictions, there's not that many options. You can either put that's either made for kids or not made for kids. So it's not made for kids. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm going to be filming with it, what I'm going to see. But when I was like looking at this whole thing, and I was like thinking to myself, oh my God, why can't this live stream work? Because it tells me that when you look at the help function, it shows you the old version of YouTube, how YouTube had it prior to YouTube Studio, how to set up your live stream. Nowadays, you have a stream key, and you have like a password for it that you feed into it, and then this is the streaming source that will go into your setup of your live stream. I have no problem with doing that right here, setting it all up. And David Stewart, you are crazy. You guys are God. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your videos as they help me get my drone going again. Going again? What would happen to it? Elaborate, my friend. I like to hear. Where was? I lost track because David Stewart. I lost track. I don't know where I was. I'm so sorry. Where I was? What I was doing? I forget. Damn it! I totally forget where it was. I was having problems with the gimbal. You had problems with the gimbal, and you fixed that because of me. How did that work out? I mean, I probably said something at some point that helped out somehow. I appreciate it though. Thank you for the $5 support. Any of these things, it does make a difference. I'm trying to catch myself where I was. Dang it. Let me drink something. Maybe it comes to mind. I'm sorry. See, these random donations, they just screw me up. It had to do with the IMU calibration. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so I guess if you have IMU calibration done wrong, because I did it on purpose, I'm honest. At some point when it asked me to put the drone, like right from the start, it told me do the IMU calibration. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. I'm gonna tell you how she flew. I'm not gonna do it like on live right now because it was really bad. I actually caught her. So to make the IMU calibration straight, you guys, I've seen it. I mean, I showed you guys prior to this. I did it in my hand. We flew it in the studio, no problem. I put it on the table. This table is perfectly level. And it worked both times without hovering issues, without flying anywhere, without toilet bowl movement, and without her. Because usually what happens is if the IMU calibration is wrong, one of the arms, she dips in like this and she starts drifting off this way. Or one of the sides starts going like this, and then you slowly start hovering sideways, and your gimbal is off, like full on off, like literally off. Mine's on, the gimbal was like this, just the gimbal, not the drone. The gimbal was literally like this at some point. So in order to adjust the gimbal, I had to go, I think it was negative 2.8 or negative 3.4 on the roll part to level out the horizon. So during this time, during the IMU, what I did was for this part, I actually slanted her slightly like this to hold her a little bit crooked. Up to the level that at some point when I went like this, like it's almost at this part right here where she tells you that you have to redo the calibration. So you can't go slightly like this. Then the second part was when I had to put it upside down, I went like this and I actually kept it this way. Also, all the way until I found the limit where she would tell me that the IMU calibration is not successful to redo it. So I held it slightly sideways like this. When it came to the sideways part, I actually had her sideways, but I tilted her forward this way. So, and I held it that way. And when I had to go to the other side, I did the same thing, but backwards this way. And I held it that way. Now, when it came to the part where you had to hold it upside down, like this way up, no, I think the next part is this way, downwards. So in order for hold it downwards, I slanted her like this. And I tried it multiple times until she finally told me that calibration is off. Like I had to redo it. So I had to do all the ways, test it out again, all the way until step 5. To put her upwards, I had to go like this. And I held her like this. And I actually kept moving, small kind, like just like this. I kept moving just to try it out, just to keep going. And then it gave me at some point, even with all those screwed up angles, it gave me a completed IMU calibration, which is bad. I think the limit should be really small. Like it should be really like, I don't know. It's the same like when you do the compass calibration and stuff where these lights are orange at some point, because I don't know if you noticed it, but at the time when you do the compass calibration, she asks you for turn it until the lights turn green. I think they should do the same thing with the IMU. I haven't seen it, or I haven't paid attention to it if it does it, but I don't think it does. So I think it should stay that way. So after I did all these weird angles, and what happened was I started up the drone and she told me that, oh, gimbal is not ready to fly. She took an enormous amount of time probably about 2 minutes until she finally let me arm the drone, which means arming, you putting the two sticks towards you, inwards, and then she would arm the drone. So she armed the drone, and then I tried to take off. And at first, when I tried to take off, every single time I tried to take off, she would take off like this. Like I could see it already when she come up that she would turn sideways a little bit, and she would go like this, and she started drifting off. And then I had to counter steer. And while I was counter steering, she was holding like this, holding like this. I wasn't able to get her to land because I was in a moving motion. She wouldn't engage into the damn landing part. So I actually brought up in front of my face, held the stick a little bit to the side, and I actually grabbed her from below and turned her as quick as I could upside down, and she turned off. So that's the cool part. It actually worked that I had to turn her off. But yeah, let me tell you, you can't screw up the IMU calibration. So now how far it goes that you can screw it up that she will have slide hovering or slide issues or whatever, or that the issues show up frequently or not so frequently, I'm not quite sure about it, but I did an IMU calibration on this bad boy like probably 30 times or 40 times just to play around with it, just so I can make this live stream and the video that I could prove to you guys, this is what you guys got to do for an IMU calibration. So, and as you guys can see in the studio right here, she hovers, she flies. There's no issues, there's nothing. And I even was as bold as going after one handheld calibration, going outside and having her hover on her own, put the control on the side, and I actually grabbed one of, those leaf blowers, and I actually blew the leaf blower against it, and I came closer, and she literally was going like this, and that should give already an indication that when she goes in certain areas that you can blow her away. And that was not the case. I couldn't do that with her. She would stay there. She's very, very solid. This is a very solid drone in very, very heavy winds. And I really, really, really appreciate it. I still do my inspections prior to make sure that my arms over here don't wiggle, that I don't have much room to play around with, and just to make sure that the glue and stuff stays, because I don't want no vibration. And I always listen to her when I bring her closer. Once in a while, I bring her closer, and I just want to make sure that when I go back and forth, that she really just goes back and forth and she hovers and she stays there, just to make sure that there's no unnecessary vibration in my arm right over here. So you can screw up an IMU calibration, but I did the IMU calibration. Usually I do it first, then I do the compass calibration, and at last I do the gimbal calibration. It seems to be the better option because I did the gimbal calibration one time before, then I did the compass calibration, then I did the IMU, and every single time I did that, the gimbal was off. Like it was at least a little bit off. Like, so it seems to be that the gimbal calibration should be last. I did multiple calibrations where I tried to switch it around just to see if it makes a difference, if it does make a difference. And it does, in my eyes, in my opinion, and in my experience, what I tried, it made a difference by calibrating IMU first, then doing compass calibration in an open wide field with good GPS signal, and then afterwards go and do your gimbal calibration to make sure on a level surface that your gimbal is straight. And that's pretty much it so far to IMU. And I still totally forgot where I left off earlier before David had his I still don't know where I was at. But yeah, so those ones are pretty much like the issues that I faced with everything since 2.511. It is a flickering issue in auto mode. I read somewhere over here, Hot Rod said something about 264. Also, keep an eye out that the drone isn't in H264. You lose 10-bit in that mode. It bit me. Yes, you actually start off with 264. You have to, every time you have to set it into 265, which is kind of, I thought that if you go into 6K automatically, that she automatically goes into 265. She doesn't. She stays in 264, guys. What do we have here? Baba Joe. Baba Joe, what's up, my man? Oh, nice profile picture. I like that. Joe. IMU is pretty easy, man. Good explanation. Thank you. Yeah, I tried because, like I said, I did my video. I got a good amount of views on my video, and I had a couple of guys email me, personal message me on the forums, and I was like, why didn't you just leave a comment like the other guy did? So he left a comment in there, and he was pretty convinced about, like, you have to put it on a level surface. You can, you don't have to, but you can. So, and I did my hand calibrations, and they work out great. I mean, I fly a lot. Like, literally, I fly a lot, guys. And What else? Anything else that changed? No, I don't think so. Besides those things, I have had no issues so far. I did a time. Oh yeah, time lapse, hyperlapse. So in my hyperlapse that I did the other day, I made sure that it was a fully charged battery. I brought it up about 210 feet above me, and then I set it to 2 miles per hour. I had a beautiful, uh, just actually it was actually not that nice of a day. There was not that much sun, but had a lot of clouds. Clouds means movement, so that means you have a lot of movement in clouds. It wasn't really that windy either, so I had it up in 210. While doing my hyperlapse, one of the biggest issues that I had was during the time when I was taking pictures while standing still, she would readjust herself once in a while. So after I didn't see it at the time while I was flying, I seen it afterwards when putting the footage over into my editing program. So it did that whole turning part where she just goes back and forth once in a while. It was like every 20 pictures, I think, because my interval was set to 2 seconds, and I just kept it that way. Another thing was that while I was moving sideways, because I set the speed to 2 miles per hour, and I wanted to just have her go. So I started on that side of my property, and I just let her slowly start moving over. So I just held the stick to the right stick to the right, and she started moving in 2 miles per hour. And then I could hear on the remote how she was taking a picture every 2 seconds, and she kept going and going and going. The problem was I let go after like I think it was like 3 minutes. I let her go like this. She slowly started going somewhere else across the neighbor's yard, and I let go. And then I figured, can go a little bit more. So I pressed the button. I pressed the stick to the right again to keep it going one more time. After pulling the footage onto my stuff, I could tell when I pressed that button, because apparently while you're taking in pictures, the gimbal stays that way, stays that way, stays that way, stays that way. Then you stop and the gimbal comes straight. And then when you press the button again, the gimbal goes like this. So your footage is slightly off afterwards. Like I had to do a cut on those scenes, and I have to erase a couple frames so you can see that skip in cloud movement. But then you also have to re-roll the footage so that it makes one smooth, and that's a lot of work. So that's one thing that they have to work on Hyperlapse. Hopefully with the next firmware they will get it. That is one of the issues in Hyperlapse that I faced off with. Another part was the low light capability. Even with that auto stuff, the pictures sometimes, if you have a lot of light sources moving through with the hyperlapse, sometimes you have that blowout where I don't know why, but she comes like super dark, and then she comes super bright, then she comes super dark, super bright. So that auto adjustment, that's why I said I wish they would have it in hyperlapse or whatever, that you don't have this auto exposure thing. Keep it on the manual, keep it on how I want my aperture to be, and all that stuff, how I just want to keep that stuff, and how on my ISO. I don't need no auto stuff in there. So I wish Autel would turn that off. That's one of the biggest gripes that I have with it. Color-wise and log-wise, I haven't worked with the log after the update yet, because I haven't really looked into it. But like color-wise, I like it. It comes out of the box without any adjustments. If you go into manual, it comes really, really, really nice. I really like it, and it comes out really, really good. So what do we have here? What I made, let's see. We have Area Imaging Net. I made it. Hi, bud. Cheers, everyone. What's up? How you doing, my man? Yes, you made it. And then we have Michael Inc. We have I Get Gimbal Not Ready also, but it still works good. Not sure why it pops up. Yes, I do that. I have that too. And then sometimes it's like after you land, and then she tells you your gimbal not ready. Dude, I just came out of the air. My gimbal was working just fine. How come? So I just wait a little bit. I keep her in the arm. I try to keep her arming her until she finally turns that off. So I do not know why that gimbal not ready thing is going, but I think that's minor. I mean, as long as the gimbal is still adjusting, still doing its calibration and stuff, I'm cool with it. Those kind of things, I don't really have a problem with it. So far that's it with 2.511, what I've seen so far, and I've been flying a lot since 2.511, and I really like the stability that the drone has now. I like that new hyperlapse mode. A little bit kinks here and there, but every drone has it, and every software has it, and I'm pretty sure Autel is going to work on it. I'm pretty sure about it. Like I said, the only thing that I really, really want them to fix is the life button. because I don't want to use third party. I tried, I did third party and stuff. It's just I don't want to bother people with seeing my screen, you know, all those HUD informations and stuff. I just want them to see a clear image of where I'm flying, and I'm gonna try fly really, really nice. And yeah, I mean, hey guys, that's pretty much what it is. Besides that, my channel itself, now since monetization has kicked in, I pretty much have seen a increase in views too and subscribers. Plus, I have received multiple emails for sponsored products and stuff. A lot of products that I actually turned down because I think they're rubbish, and I will not stick my neck out for that. So even though monetization kicked in, I received a couple emails from people asking me about certain products that they are trying. And they said, oh, you should look into this. I would love to, and it has to do with Autel Evo too, but I have to purchase the product through what I make off of YouTube. Because I have kids, I have a job, I have rent to pay, I mean mortgage to pay, I have electric bill, internet bill, and all this equipment that you see around here, like my lights and all that stuff, my batteries, like my NPFs and stuff. I gotta buy NPFs once in a while to keep updating my equipment as well, so that the quality of my videos is fine. So now the thing is though that through my monetization, I don't really make that much, but what I make, I will reinvest into this to buy certain things, and only if I really believe that these products would help you out or would be an enhancement to your actual product. So some people contacted me about battery chargers and stuff. I have no problem with my hub, guys. I really like my hub. My hub works really, really great. And there is a function for a 3 or 4 battery charger or triple battery charger, including the remote. I charge all my stuff up through my laptop and my extra batteries or through the wall plug and stuff because I plan my stuff ahead. So therefore, I'm pretty good with that. But based on what has happened here so far with my channel and the monetization and all that stuff, I'm increasingly thinking of creating a membership where it's like a membership club, and that giveaways will be solely for the membership club, because I have a lot of followers that are constantly in my videos, are constantly on my comments, are constantly with me, and I think I should share giveaways with solely just those subscribers. So the club membership would be 99 cents a month, or $1.90. I forget already what it was, $1.99 or 99 cents a month. And also amongst those, because I have a clothing line going right now with the whole Teespring thing where I screwed up and I threw it in a dryer, dummy, and ruined my shirt, so I had to order another one. But out of those with the membership too, I'm planning on probably giving away a shirt a month to the members of those subscribers. So I'm not quite sure how that stuff is going to work out, because YouTube takes a lot from the donations that you guys do on this live chat. And then I make more like money a little bit here and there, which is a couple of dollars here and there. But with the amount of videos that I have uploaded so far, I'm making a good amount, up to like, I think it's like $20 or $30 a month. So those $20 or $30 actually got me to buy something like this, which is the strap. Oh, you guys can't even see it because it's black on black. Yeah. The strap for the propellers, which is really, really good. It's a really good propeller strap, and I really, really like it. I use it all the time, especially now that I started taking my drone in the backpack as well, besides the GPC case, because that depends on if I go on a motorcycle or not. If I'm on my motorcycle, then I use this strap because I put it into one of those soft bags. So I'm making sure that my propellers are in there. Right now I can't put it in there because I have to put it in my GPC case because my gimbal cover broke. Until my gimbal cover comes back, a new gimbal cover comes around, until then I have to use the GPC case because I do not want to mess up this drone. And yeah, so that's pretty much what you're looking at my channel at this point. We are almost at 1 hour of live stream. So I did the live stream today because there's no live stream tomorrow, just to let you guys know, because I have a Halloween party to prepare for, and I have a few people coming over at my place. And I really deeply appreciate all you guys' support. And if you guys have any question, if you guys watch this live stream after this live stream commenced and everything happened, and you guys want to see the IMU calibration, just skip forward into the beginning, the first 10 minutes, I believe that's when we did the IMU calibration. And that's when we flew the drone in this studio live right here. And you can see that there's no problems with hovering, with turning, with doing whatever. But I just never like deprive you guys of the live stream, and I really enjoy doing these live streams. And yeah, happy Halloween to you guys too. I totally neglecting this freaking live chat over here. I keep rambling on and talking and talking. I like to interact with you people in the live stream as well. So let's see what we have here. We have Ricky. No, that's Baba Yo. Battery updates are a pain though. Autel needs to give the option to change the battery as you update instead of having to load the file over and over. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Like if you have another battery, please insert. If not, please skip this step. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know if that's even. That's mostly the most important and most expensive part on these drones is the firmware. So, or the software that it operates on. That's the reason why these things, because you cannot tell me that this plastic and metal thing with a couple LED lights taped to it can cost $2,000. I think the drone itself in production costs you probably $100, but the software is the software that runs it is actually the one that makes it happen. You know what I mean? Like it's the design itself and stuff. That's what you pay for. But yeah, that would be a cool idea if you could update the batteries during the first firmware update instead of waiting for the prompt again and then put it in and then. Somebody else said he had 4 batteries and then he ran 3 batteries with the prompt and then the 4th battery didn't show up the prompt, but the battery version was still the one from prior. So he had to download the stuff to his USB stick, to his SD card and then put it inside. That's a pain in the ass, guys. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff, really. Hot Rod said, did they warranty that cover? Why you gotta ask these kind of questions for? I didn't even ask them, man. I think it was user error. I don't know if it was user error. I put my cover on as I usually do, and then when I just literally push down on it to have it clip in, pop, the thing just broke off. So, but I bought a new one already, man. It cost me like $5 or $6. I don't know. So yeah, that's a good question. I should have thought of that. Thanks. Yay, party time. Yes, more tomorrow is party time. And then we have Ricky Britton with Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to all of you guys. This is so now today is going to be the last time that you guys see the setup and the intro of the stuff. And then I have to think about a new intro for you guys because I want to keep it creative. I want to keep it interesting, not always the same thing. So, and then we have here Keith Lucas just pulled the trigger on this orange bird. And the first flight was yesterday after waiting for the rain to stop. Tonight was the sunset filming. Thanks for the tips and tricks. You're very welcome, my friend. And I hope that you enjoy this bird just as much as I do. I love this bird, and I'm a total fan of this Autel bird. It's the best drone professionally seen that I've ever purchased. I mean, yeah, it's 2,000. It's not like I buy a freaking drone like this every week, guys. You know what I mean? So who had them? Autel had them. They had them on their website, bro. Should be the new one. Should be the new one. Should be the new one. I'm lost. So you got smoke in your eye when it broke. Yeah, I did. I was like, what? No, not my gimbal cover. You know, I was thinking like this strap can rip, you know, this propeller can bend, but why the gimbal cover? Yeah, you're right. I had smoke in my eye. So Ariel said, anyone try the new props? Yeah, I don't know if anybody tried it yet. I haven't seen. I'm not even quite sure yet if they're out for purchase. I seen only an announcement, and I seen some people on the forums talking about them. Technically seen, they're supposed to have a bigger takeoff rate. Like they produce more power with less energy, less rotations on your RPMs. And I keep an eye out on the cracks on the side of my bird, but I still haven't had it. And I'm making sure that my arms are in a good shape, that the glue and all that stuff will come off. So I mean, we're pretty good on it. The new one fits better. Okay, yeah, I hope that the new one will fit better. Definitely, I sure hope so. Still waiting for them to get back to me if they're ever going to give me an Autel drone. It can be even an Evo 1. I just want to give it away to all you guys. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I do these things, and that's why I keep bugging them a little bit, and I keep calling them. But like I said, I don't have the subscriber base. I don't have the view base. I mean, I make in my eyes, I make a good amount of views. I mean, it's 500 people that watch my videos. And I say it that way. If 500 people watch my videos, that's 500 people less of a headache where I could share my experience with. And even if it's only the 22 views, I'm happy with it because I know that people actually could learn something or did not have to go through the sufferings of finding out how the hell to do it or whatever. Sometimes there's tips and tricks from people like Hot Rod that text me or in this live chat where things come. You know what I mean? Aloha to Colombia, my friend. I've seen you all the time on my comments. I appreciate it. So other than that, we are a little bit over the 1 hour. I appreciate you guys all coming by. I appreciate you guys deep donations that you guys threw out for me over here. And there is somebody else, nothing to see. Hang on. It's got to show up over here first because I have the live stream running at the same time too. And a couple people are writing something right now. So Keith Lucas said, set up an aerial remote control channel on YouTube 5 years ago and I haven't had the time to add to it. Now I've got something to play with. Hey, go for it. Before this drone, I just got slowly back into my YouTube and it literally blew out of the water as soon as I started doing this stuff with this bird. And hey, if you can come up with some cool stuff, I'll definitely gonna be watching, my man. Ricky Brayton, good things happen when patient. Yes, all the time, my man. Good things happen to those who wait. My wife kept telling me that. Happy Halloween and birthday for the son. That's right. We're gonna have my son's birthday party. He made 4, and he's gonna have like a walk around in the. I have 1 acre, so we're gonna be like doing a trunk or treat because apparently people are afraid of COVID-19, and they don't want to have kids walking around coming to the house and grabbing some candy. But apparently, you can go to any Walmart or Target and can buy some candy. You can catch COVID-19 over there. So, welcome to the COVID-19 age. So yeah, but other than that, I appreciate all you guys coming by and supporting me and keep supporting me and commenting. And like I said, if you watch this live stream afterwards, after it comments and you have any questions, comments, whatever, leave the comments in the section below. I definitely gonna answer. I usually always answer my stuff. So, and I'm nobody special. So I'm just a dude like you guys. Sure, I sell my Evo 2K, 8K, or buy a new gimbal 6K. I wouldn't sell the 8K. I would just try, if you can afford it, buy the gimbal 6K. If anything, if you want to sell the 8K and then buy a 6K, maybe there's like a swap, whatever. I see a lot of guys trying to get into the 6K stuff and all that shit, but oops. But yeah. What else we have? Also the Facebook sites, yes. And I have Ghosties and I have good stuff, bro. What's up? Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, everybody. Don't forget, COVID-19 is still out there to get you, even at Walmart and Target and stuff. So wear your mask. Be a nice human to everybody. Happy Halloween, all you guys. Wash your hands. Be safe. Take care of your kids. Love you guys. Aloha.